Alright, everybody, happy Wednesday. Hope you've all had a nice start to the month of October. I'm going to do a quick forecast here on Facebook, and if you're joining on YouTube, if you have any questions as I go or just any comments in general, I'd love to hear from you. Just drop it in the comment section, and I will read them as they come in. Otherwise, we're going to jump in. We're going to keep this short and sweet. We're about 7 minutes out from KBTX News at 5, so I'll try to wrap things up, and you can head over there and catch Chief Meteorologist Max Crawford's full forecast. So let's start where we've got most of the activity right now, and that's in the Atlantic Basin. We are seeing what's left of what was Category 4 major hurricane Umberto. That was Category 4 on Monday, so it has rapidly weakened, which is good news, and it is moving away from the east coast of the U.S. Next to that, we've got Category 2 Hurricane Imelda. That has intensified over the past 48 hours, but now set to track to the north and east alongside Umberto and weaken as it does that. So two areas of low pressure expected to kind of fizzle out, but I want to show you the difference already underway on satellite because it's just a really cool, clear picture. You can see where all those clouds are dissipating. Actually, I can point on here. All these clouds kind of dissipating, pushing out to the northeast. That's what's left of that low pressure system now of Hurricane Humberto. And then here, where we have tighter circulation, low pressure, this is still that Category 2 Hurricane Imelda. But it is forecast to kind of follow suit as it moves to the north and east and weaken into that area of low pressure. So all good news for the east coast of the U.S., though you can see, although we're past the climatological peak, still absolutely tracking activity. Now I want to bring you back home. Over the Lone Star State, looking at satellite, you can see there's not a ton of cloud cover, not a ton of moisture available, not looking to see much rain across the state as a whole, certainly not here in the Brazos Valley. As we all know by now, things have been very, very dry. In fact, we're coming off the heels of the fourth driest September on record for College Station with a whopping 4/100ths of an inch for the entirety of the month. So very, very dry, needless to say. And you can kind of see that here, although this is a little bit dark here, but a lot of the grasses surrounding our highways and just your front yard, backyard, likely yellow, crunchy, stressed vegetation, evidence of the dry weather we've been influenced by over the past month. It's been 24 days since we've seen a drop of rainfall here in College Station, and that's kind of been the case for most of the Brazos Valley. It's been a kind of a brutal month for us. Good news with the dry air mass that we've got in place, things are a little bit more comfortable, especially in the mornings and in the evenings. Once the sun sets through the evening hours, temperatures cool quickly, and with the dry air in place, things feel really great. Low humidity, that's further illustrated through the fact that temperatures right now are sitting in the mid-90s, 93. Feels like temperatures slightly below that, sitting at 91. Winds out of the west right now on the calmer side. We're trying to work some moisture back in. Even still, though, dew points for most are sitting in the 50s. As you work further to the south and east to the coastline, you can see dew points jumping a little bit into the 60s. Even still, it's pretty comfortable out there, pleasant. You can see it sits in that middle range there on our muggy meter, but some moisture trying to pump back into the Brazos Valley, and that's why I think our forecast fire danger from Texas A&M Forest Service looks a little bit better today than it did yesterday. Still, though, something that is of concern for the entirety of the state, really. Moderate fire danger everywhere you see blue, low fire danger today for everywhere that you see green, and then that little spot over San Jacinto County forecast for to see high fire danger. So, again, dry vegetation makes for really good fuel for grass fires, wildfires, and things to spread and change very quickly. That's why officials in Milam, Robertson, Madison, and now Grimes County, that's the newest county we've had added to our burn ban list, all actively under burn bans, meaning if you live in any one of those four counties, outdoor burning of any kind, prohibited. If you don't live in any of those four counties, I encourage you to limit or eliminate outdoor burning if possible, because again, no matter where you are, you're seeing your vegetation start to suffer as a result of the dry weather we've been dealing with for the past several days. I want to show you Drought Monitor, though we do get a new one tomorrow morning, so we'll have an updated picture for you picture of this for you tomorrow. Right now, though, abnormally dry conditions everywhere that you see yellow, so that's for most of the area. And then if you're out in Lee County or the southwestern part of Milam County, you've got stage 1 moderate drought already moving back in. And we've seen a lot of the more significant drought out in central and west Texas, so that's kind of starting to shift back to the east. Again, tomorrow around 7 o'clock we'll get a new one, so we'll be keeping close tabs on that, but I anticipate conditions likely going to be a little bit worse than what we see now, unfortunately. That's all again because rain hard to come by. We need anywhere from 9 to 12 inches of rain over the next 4 weeks to completely eliminate drought across the Brazos Valley, and no surprise here. It's going to be difficult to chip away at that for at least the start of October. Looks pretty dry. I put a 10% chance on Friday just because we've got onshore flow returning, so winds out of the south and east. Can't rule out a quick pop-up shower, sea breeze shower moving in. Then things look dry. Good news for game day, of course. We've got a night kick at Kyle Field on Saturday, taking on Mississippi State. If you're going, once the sun sets, things will feel really great. If you're tailgating early, it's still going to be a little bit warm, and humidity at that point starting to move back in, but nowhere near what we dealt with to start the season. So working in the right direction. And then this time next week looks to be a better chance at seeing some more scattered showers. It is far from a slam dunk forecast. It is far from a guarantee, but it's kind of the first glimmer of hope that we have a changing pattern. Rainfall forecast here, this is accumulation, so everywhere that you see the darker greens, it's higher accumulations. Everywhere that you see gray space, which is most of the state of Texas, it's traced to zero there. So we expect kind of, if we do get rain to move in, that's why the percentages are so low. They're not going to be impactful or drought-denting, drought-busting rain, but we'll take what we can get at this point to just kind of try to get some saturation going across our soils and our vegetation because they desperately need it. And I know that I'm just preaching to the choir. I know that y'all know that, but just kind of giving an update on where we are, what we need to kind of right these conditions, and so far, not looking all that great. Art says, beat the hell out of Mississippi State. Whoop. I think we're going to get it done. Let's go 5-0, shall we? Which, you know what, speaking of, let's just pop up your game day forecast. So, again, it's a 6:30 kickoff. So, to start the game, sun will still be up, but it should set pretty quickly. If you're on the east side of the stadium, you'll hang on to the sunshine a little bit longer than our friends on the west side. If you're on the third deck, though, perks to that. You get a little bit of overhang, you get some shade. Otherwise, sunshine. So, sunscreen is a good idea, especially if you're headed out to tailgate. Still going to be warm. Still going to be in the 90s when you tailgate. And then we'll cool things down into the 80s through the 4 quarters. Remember, it's blackout, so wear black, but also remember black absorb sunlight, so it's likely going to be a little bit hotter than if you were wearing white, but it's worth the sacrifice as long as you take care of yourself. Lots of water, breaks in the shade, and in the AC when you can. Cool zones in Kyle Field, recommend those highly. Yeah, that's about it. That's what we've got. I'll show you the 10-day forecast, and I'll leave you with that because I don't see any other questions. Pretty straightforward forecast. And it is 5 o'clock now, so I'm going to log off, and then I encourage you to head over to Channel 3, KBTX. You can catch Chief Meteorologist Max Crawford's full forecast there. 10-day shows you mornings still look great. Get out early, walk the dogs, do the yard work in the first or last few hours of the day because in between, still nice and warm and lots of sunshine. And then hopefully we'll get some rain to move in around this time next week. Until then, though, things remain dry, so please, please, please be cognizant of the fact that fire danger is elevated and will likely continue to be elevated in the coming